My name is Scott Seals and my wife Llewellyn.
Llewellyn Seals.
And we have four children now, Ryan, Madison, Mackenzie, and now Megan, our miracle girl that we're calling her.
When we went to the doctor the first time for our ultrasound to find out how far along we were and what we were having, we found out that that her head had not closed all the way. They call it, it's a condition called encephalocele, and I guess there's children that are born with that condition that live normal lives, and then there's some that don't actually survive the pregnancy or don't live a normal life then with the condition. So we were actually encouraged not to have her many of times. They didn't feel that she would make it. After we sat and we talked about it, because we were pro-life, we didn't want to give her up. We wanted to have all the faith and hope that she would be okay. So we decided we'd go ahead and continue with the pregnancy, and after a few months we went back to have another ultrasound done and found that her head was closing. The whole size was actually closing. It was getting smaller, and the doctor was quite surprised because he said that normally doesn't happen, and it usually gets worse before it would get better. So we were still, hopeful that things would, improve for her. And then, well, as time went on, and when she was born, we found that she had more conditions other than just that she was born with part of her brain wasn't developed properly, and they call it lissencephaly, which is, it means that her brain is actually smooth, not rigid like a normal brain would be. It doesn't have the ripples in it. And I guess most babies cannot survive that way because the brain just stops developing and never develops further, and they have no quality of life. They're basically, is what we were told, is they're born just like a vegetable. They can't do anything. When she was born, she was crying and came out with good scores. She came out looking good, and they assessed her right away and took her to the NICU and started doing all the tests they needed to do on her and stuff, and pretty much she got flying colors on everything. I mean, she came out with good breathing scores, good, her color was good, she was able to cry, and they, I don't think they expected any of that. So they immediately, put her on a feeding tube, and just said she would never bottle feed. She wasn't. They told me she would never hold her head up on her own, or even have any sense of surroundings. And she wouldn't be able to see or hear, and so basically, it wasn't just one doctor; it was many doctors that had told us that. And so we just kind of played it by ear to see what was going to happen with her. They called us and told us she wasn't going to probably even make it before we got to the hospital. So we rushed there, stayed with her all day, and that's when they ended up putting her on a CPAP to help her breathe. And she was on that for almost a full 24 hours. Until Tuesday morning when the doctor came in and decided that he wanted to, talk to us and tell us to pretty much let her go, not to keep her going like this, because it was just going to keep getting worse. If they took her off of it, she'd have to go back on it right away, or, she wasn't, if they took her off, she probably wasn't even going to make it. The turning point was, having her baptized, and, it was only not even an hour, after Phil left, that she, opened her eyes and came around, and she was unresponsive for a full 24 hours prior to that, and they told us she wasn't even going to live. So, she, right after being baptized, opened her eyes, started looking around, started making progress, and the doctors kept telling us that it was just a good day. not to get our hopes up still.
It was a great day.
And it was a great day because she's here. You know, she's doing pretty much everything on her own. We're not giving her any, you know, life support measures. The doctors aren't treating her for anything. You know, she's here for a reason. She's living on her own. And that's, you know, that's what the miracle is. You know, it's all God's, you know, will, because she's, you know, she's doing it. We've had so many prayer groups, people from the church,
Friends and neighbors. And
yeah, friends, neighbors, even just a bunch of our family and friends throughout you know, our neighborhood here and from near and far that have put us in prayer groups.
She's changed a lot within the way we look at things, and just bringing people together. I mean, we've had somebody here every night for the last month, bringing us, you know, a food dinner at night, or
Right.
just support, you know, somebody to cry with, or, you know, whatever it may be.
Right.
Somebody's always here. So that's, again, friends, family, the church, everybody's support, just getting us through this.